In this video, I'm going to give you some likely questions you are probably going to be asked during your visa interview. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide the board into two as I've done already. Here, I'm going to write the common questions you are likely going to be asked because of the data I've gotten from people who have gone there and have been denied and people who have gone there and have been approved. I looked at every data and I saw the common questions, the questions that have been repeating, so you know that and you prepare for that. Okay, so here I'm going to write the common questions and here I'm going to write the less common questions during your visa interview. I've seen during your visa interview. But before that, I want you to know how the visa interview works, okay, the framework and how these questions came about. Okay, so know this very well. We'll come back to this. Okay, I want you to know this. Your visa interview is a test. Visa interview is a test. It's just like an exam. You know, in every test, after you qualify for every test, you do well in every test, what comes after? A reward. Even when God tests you, after that you get a reward. After every test, there is a reward. So after the visa interview, which is a test, there is a reward. And that reward is your visa. Okay, now the tests is grouped into three. Okay, the visa interview test as a test is grouped into three. The first one is called purpose of travel. So the visa officer is going to test you on your purpose of travel. So let me write it down really quickly. Purpose of travel. The second one is your financial capabilities. Do you have the money? The third one, can you guess it, is the home ties, okay? And this is for a non-immigrant. With time, I'm going to make videos for an immigrant. I mean, an immigrant visa, but this is for a non-immigrant. Okay, so during your visa interview, they're going to test you on your purpose of travel. Now, and they're going to test you on your financial capabilities, and they're going to also test you on your home ties. And you have to pass all these in order to get your visa approved. So you have to pass your purpose of travel. You have to give them tangible reasons. You have to give them reasons, like good reasons for your financial capabilities. And you have to prove your home ties that, oh, I don't want to stay in the US. I don't want to stay in your country. I love my country to the point that after doing everything, I am going to return to my home country. So that is the home ties. Now, if you pass everything as I said, visa approved. So every question they ask you during your visa interview, why the USA, why this, why that, everything has to fall under these three. So have you noticed every question they ask you falls under this? Your purpose of travel, they want to know why you're going, or it falls under your financial capabilities, do you have the money, or it falls under your home ties, are you going to return to your home country? Okay, so I grouped this one, purpose of travel, into two: your identity and your academics. Okay, mostly, so this one is basically for F1 visas. Okay, so you get it. Identity. Don't let me write like the academics. The academics will like focus the whole thing on F1 visas, but B1, B2, same structure, same thing. Okay, so let me clean this. I hope you understand this so far. Visa interview is a test. Now, if you pass all these three, you're going to get your visa. But if you don't, you're going to get denied. Even if you don't prove your home ties and you do very well at purpose of travel and you prove your financial capabilities well, you have a full scholarship, you also give good reasons why you want to study in the US, and you don't prove your home ties that you're going to return, visa denied. So you have to prove all these three to get your visa approved. Okay, so let me clean it very quick and we'll go to the main topic of the day. So as I said, every question they ever ask you has to fall under these three. Okay, so let me just write an acronym so it becomes very easy. So they're going to test you on purpose of travel. Just let me write POP. Financial capabilities, let me write FC. And home ties, let me write H. Okay, I'll write it up here. So let me clear everything. And let's go to the questions they are going to be asked. They are going to be asked during your visa interview. And as I said, it will fall under these three. Okay, so let me write this here. Purpose of travel, the first one. The second one, do you remember? Financial capabilities. And the third one, do you remember? Home ties. Okay. Now, I'm going to group them. I'm going to divide the board into two. A minute. Yep, I think this looks good, right? Yeah, it looks in the middle. Okay, so here, right, I've divided the board into two. So this part will be the common questions, the likely questions I've seen over and over again. And this side will be the less likely questions they are going to ask you during your visa interview. Now, the common questions they are going to ask you, the first one is, I call them the big three whys, the big three W's, which is why, the big three whys, okay. The first why is why the USA, or why the country you are going into. The second why, can you guess? Why your university or why the course you're going to study? Uni or program course. The third why is why now? Why are you going now? Maybe you completed school in like 2020 or 2023 or like 2019 and you stayed home for a very long time. So why are you now coming, or why have you decided that you want to go to school now? Okay, so why now? These are the three whys. And these three, okay, I'll clear it. These three, I'll make a separate video to get you answers for these, but this video is not focused on getting answers. I want you to get the questions they are likely going to ask you. So these questions, at least they're going to ask one. If they don't ask you why the USA, they're going to ask you why the uni or why now. That's why I call them the big three. Okay, so these three gives you a chance for you to prove your identity. Now is the time for you to show them who you are. Now is the time for you, okay, to show them who you are. So that is why initially, if you remember, I said POP, I wrote identity. So now is the time for you to show them who you are, your identity. Okay, so when they ask you each of these questions, why the USA, now is the time for you to tell them that, oh, I this is who I am, and this is how the USA is going to help me. Okay, that is a chance for you to tell them who you are, because the visa officer, he hasn't seen you before, he hasn't seen you anywhere before. So it's a time for you to tell them who you are, because I haven't seen in any transcript, most of the transcripts I've looked, maybe some of them, a few of them, that the visa officer asks, tell me about yourself. Like the job interviews, they don't really ask that. They just ask, why the USA? So that's the time for you to introduce yourself, like tell them your dream, how the USA is going to help you accomplish your dream. That is more convincing rather than saying the US have good schools, they have good research opportunities. They know that. Okay, I made a separate video on that, but I'm going to make a whole new video on the big threes. Okay, so that is the time for you to prove your identity. Whenever you see these questions, identity. So why the uni? How is the university you chose going to help you accomplish your dreams, your goals, your ambitions? As I said, it's for identity. So you can say, oh, okay, I do cybersecurity, okay, and I want to work on the future of cybersecurity, which is post-quantum cryptography, which deals with quantum computers trying to hack normal, like the RSA encryption. So but don't give big terms, but I'm trying to let you get the understanding. So I want to work on post-quantum cryptography, and this school in the US is working on that. So I want to study under this professor who is working on that. It is more convincing than just saying, oh, I want to go to the school because it's a good school, they have good class to size ratio. If you want to convince somebody, give them the depth, give them the information they need, show them who you are, show them your passion. So it gives you the chance to prove your identity, because they are not going to ask you, tell me about yourself. So this will, you add your identity, a little bit of who you are, a little bit touch of who you are, and you will just You just answer the question. Okay, so why nursing? Oh, I want to study nursing because this is what I want to work on. This is what I've been working on, and I want to come to the USA, study nursing, and go back to my country. So a touch of who you are, that is more convincing. Why now? Oh, okay, I completed school in 2023, but I wasn't ready, so I decided to go volunteer for a good organization like the Confanoche Teaching Hospital, a great hospital in my country. So after that, I decided to continue school. So I come back and keep on doing the good things I've been doing. So a little bit touch about who you are, your identity. Okay, it's more convincing than just saying, oh, I didn't have money. You can say I didn't have money. So, okay, you didn't have money. So what were you doing during that time? That is the time, that is a chance for you to add your identity, who you are, a little bit touch. So he knows that, oh, this person is a good person. I can give him the visa. He's good. Yeah, you get it. So that are the big three. These are common questions. If you don't ask you this, they're going to ask you this. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, these three falls under the purpose of travel. So when they ask you why the USA, it's under the purpose of travel. When they ask you why the uni, it's under the purpose of travel. They ask you why now, purpose of travel. So the question, another common question they ask is, who is going to fund you? Because they want to know. So that is the fourth question. Who will fund you? Meaning, who will pay for your fees? This is not an identity question. This is a question where they want to know your financial capability. So this falls under financial capabilities. Okay. Oh, my dad is going to fund me. He has this, he's been taking care of me since high school. Oh, my uncle is too common. Yeah, bro, yeah, uncle is too common, but this person is going to fund me. That is the financial capabilities. I'm not going to tell you how to answer the question because that is not the aim of this video. This video is just to tell you the likely questions you are going to be asked. Okay, I'm going to make a video to tell you how to answer these questions. And join Visa University, I do coach them on that as well, so that is going to help. Another question they ask, they can say, can you provide me your bank statements? Which basically falls under who is going to fund you and which is under financial capabilities. So provide me your bank statements. Can I see your bank statements? So you give him the bank statement. You say, can I see your bank statement? And this also falls under financial capabilities. And another common question I always see, or I normally see, is, what are your plans after graduation? And they don't normally ask that, so I didn't know whether to put it under common section or less common section, but I still want to put it here because quite a majority of people, they ask them that question. So let me put it here. This number 6 is plans after graduation. Plans after graduation. That is number 6. Okay. So these are basic questions they are going to ask for the common questions. These are the questions I normally see, just for them to know, for them to test you on purpose of travel, for them to test you on financial capabilities, for them to test you on the home ties. So this will basically test you on the home ties. And in the video where I'm going to explain the big three, I would give you a way so that you can prove your home ties under these three. So when they don't ask you your plans after graduation, you have already proven it under these three. So you've proven the home ties part is checked under when you are answering this question. So what is only left is for them to ask you who is going to fund you, and when you pass it, visa approved. You get it? Okay. So now let's go to the less likely questions. The less likely questions is what ifs. Okay, I call them what ifs. What if you get your visa denied? What are you going to do? That is what ifs. So what if you get your visa denied? What if visa denied? They don't normally ask this question. What if visa denied? What are you going to do? But this also, I think this also falls under home ties because, oh, you say, oh, I want to try again. And also it tests your perseverance. Or, okay, it also falls under purpose of travel. Yeah, it tests your perseverance, like, yeah. But yeah. They are going to ask you, what if your visa is denied? What are you going to do? Oh, okay. So if my visa is denied, I would try again. Yeah, I'll try again. But I believe that you explain why you need a visa, but eventually if your visa is denied, that is okay. I'll go back and review what I did wrong and I'll try again, but I believe I'm the best candidate for the blah 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 blah. The aim of this video is not to give you the answers, but I'm going to do that in another video, so do want to subscribe. Okay, so another what if is, what if your sponsor stops sponsoring you when you get there? That is also to test a little bit of the financial capabilities. Yeah, what if your sponsor stops? And these things I don't normally see them, so I don't normally get them here. Okay, I forget most of them. And also they can ask you when you travel to another country, which is of late they have cancelled that, but people who have already booked, they haven't cancelled your appointment, so they are likely going to ask you, why didn't you do it in your home country but you are doing it in another person's country? Okay, why this country? And another what if is, what if you get a job after graduation? Are you going to come or not? Like, this was also going to test your home ties. They also want to test whether you want to come back or not. So what ifs? So these questions are basically easy to answer. Okay, and I wrote some what ifs here. Let me check it really quick. What ifs? Let's see. Yeah, okay. So yeah, another less likely question. Have you traveled before? Any travel history? Have you traveled before? They can ask you questions about your school, which falls under the common questions. So basically, yeah, how did you hear about that school? How did you hear about that school? How did you hear about that school? Yeah, so these are so I need you, okay, I need you to get questions, to get the answers for these questions, the common questions. Why the USA? Why do you want to study in the USA? And as I said, these are identity questions. Now is the time for you to give them a little bit touch of who you are, what are your goals are, and how is the US going to help you. These things, why now? A touch of who you are. Who is going to fund you? Get an answer for that. Who exactly is going to fund you? Who is on your I-20? Who is going to fund you? Like, whose bank statements are you going to send? Get answers for that. And your plans after graduation always, okay, always have to be, I want to return to my home country. Always, okay, always have to be that. And less likely questions: what if you get denied? What if this happens? What if your sponsor starts sponsoring you? What again? Have you traveled to another country before? What again? Travel history. Okay. Yeah, these are the less likely questions. So I'll end my video here. I don't want it to be too long. So in all, this is what I want you to understand. The visa interview is a test. Okay, visa interview is a test, and you have to pass these 3 tests: purpose of travel, financial capabilities, and home ties, in order to get your visa approved. If you pass even 2 and you don't really prove 1, that is when they deny you. They can deny you under section 214B. The other denial types, but the most common one is section 214B because it highlights most parts of these 3. So do well to prove these 3 things. Okay, do well to get answers for these 3. Okay, do your maximum best to get answers for these 3. And what I always talk about is confidence. If I came here and I was very shy, you wouldn't believe in what I say. But because I do it with confidence, because I say it with that conviction, you believed me. And people with influence always have that confidence. People with a lot of followers, if you study that, they always have that confidence. They always have belief in themselves. So if you go there and you stand there, and confidence is not developed in the day, as I always say. If you go there and stand there, you know that you've already prepared. So whatever he says or whatever he asks, you're already prepared. Why the USA? Blah 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 blah. I want to do this, da da da. So the USA is going to help me do that, da da da. You explain that. Oh, what are your plans after graduation? Do you want to stay or no? Oh no, I don't want to stay in the USA. This is what I want to do in my country. I want to come back. I do political science. I want to come back and be a big MP in my community, in my neighborhood, because they need me. And this is a specific kind of project. I want to really invest into agriculture because there are a lot that I see potential in agriculture in my constituency, but I think they're not doing a lot. So I want to go to the USA, do this, that, and I'll come back and help my community, stand for MP, be a member of parliament, and help my community in that. I want to do computer science because my focus is on cybersecurity. I want to go to the US, do this, that. When I come back, I want to form a big organization called the CyberSec Africa, which will teach young people about cybersecurity, because Ghanaians or Africans do not know much, or my country does not know much about cybersecurity. So that's what I want to do. Oh, I want to study nursing in the USA. I want to study medicine in the USA, so that when I come back, I want to build a very big clinic to take care of people who do not have money and they want they want medical needs and wants. Get a project, get something you want to do back in your home country. Tell them about that. Okay, that is your dream. That is what you want to do. So even if you get an opportunity in the US, you have a very big dream. You have something you want to do. You have a vision. So you don't want to stay there. You want to come back to your home country and do just that. That is more convincing. Don't let the whole conversation be a memorized thing that you are trying to do it. Memorize. No. Let it be personal. Who are you? What do you want to work on? Tell them, I am a math major. This is what I want to work on. After school, I don't want to. Talk from your heart. Okay? Don't memorize the answers. Write the answers down. I'm not going to lie to you. Write these answers down. Why the USA? But before that, you have to think about your life. That is why I don't give personal answers to that. Go there, tell them exact thing you're going to get up with. There's no formula for your visa interview. There's no formula. No. Be personal. Be yourself. Go there. Speak. Okay? Everything will be fine. Yeah. Have a nice day. I'll see you. I don't want this video to be very long, but I'm gonna see you in the next video. If you need coaching, any guidance, I'm always available. I'm mostly available. I won't say always. I'm mostly available. So just text me on my WhatsApp. We will talk. I'll add you to the Visa University. You're going to be part, and we are going to meet on discussions. So you prepare, you become very confident because you know all the answer questions. We are going to do some simulated mock sessions. So you go there and be like, huh, I've done this with Mr. Nate. I'm very confident. I've seen this place before. This is how the place looks like. You go there. When he asks you the questions, you become very personal. Oh, that is a very good question. Actually, this is what I wanted to work on, and that is just be yourself. Have a nice day.